Hey family, this is Jake from John J Ministries. Listen, this time of year during our tourist season, I normally have a taxi hustle. So last night I had a client on the West Coast having dinner, and so I was hustling, going across the highway to collect the client around after 10 in the night. And when I get down the highway near to Warren's, near the Saw gas station, lo and behold, as I just was going to pass the gas station, my truck ran out of fuel right next to the gas station, and I was in a tizzy. Tried to start it, it's not starting. I realized it was the fuel, so I ran across the gas station to get some diesel, to get a container, because first of all, I had no container to hold the fuel. Going into the gas station had no container to hold this fuel, and I am in a tizzy because I'm trying to get to this client so that nobody can eat my little food and carry my client. And so it was such a frustrating feeling, family, to know that the very thing that you need in order to get you on your way is right next to you, but you don't have what it takes to get it from over here to where you need it to get on your way. And I started to panic. And so I had to call some friends. I called up some friends of mine. I asked them for containers, and some of them didn't have. I called a good buddy of mine who lived close to me, man, a good brother, and he went across to the gas station where he lived to get one. And as soon as he was about to get one, a friend came down with a container, and I called him and said, no, don't buy it anymore. So he came down to support, and then I bought like almost $100 in diesel to put in my vehicle, family. And when I put this, I started to feel good. When I put this diesel in the vehicle, lo and behold, the vehicle still will not start. I said, my Lord. And all I'm thinking about, my food that I need and my client. So I nobody want to carry, my client and eat my little food that I need, for the weekend. And so, I realized that the guy came over and he said, well, you have to pump the fuel. So it engaged and it pumped, and it still would not start. And it showed up the fact that something was wrong with the battery. It was low because, when you run out of fuel and you're on a dark road, you have to put on your hazards at least, so you can actually, people can see, passersby can see that you're brought on the road. And then, my brother, and he had some starter cables, and we tried to start it, but his cables weren't strong enough. And though the guy had to go all the way back home to get a booster starter, and in my heart, I am full of anxiety, because I said, my Lord, I don't want to lose this client. I don't want to get there at a time when it's too late and I cannot, return this trip. But he came back, and lo and behold, it started, family, and I was so relieved, but still full of anxiety. I thanked them, and they went long, and I was thankful for friends. I was thankful for people who can show up for you when you need them. But then I am like almost 10 minutes away from my destination, and when I get down on the West Coast, a friend called me, and we were on the phone talking, and he was encouraging me that kind of way, and yet I am still full of anxiety because I got there not knowing whether or not the client has called, have not received a call from them or anything, and you're there encouraging, and then finally I receive a text message, say, I'm ready. And I say, my whole persona just changed, fam, because I realized that I was there just in time. I did not miss my mark. I did not miss my food, and I was able to get it. And I want to tell you, family, it reminds me of it reminds me of those 5 foolish virgins in the Bible who were not prepared, who ran out of oil, and the master was coming, the bridegroom was coming, and just when about he came, they ran out of fuel. You could imagine the kind of panic that they were in. They realized they ran out of fuel, and they had to go and get oil for their lamps. And if they were like me, when you go to the source, you don't have what it takes to get your oil, or they don't have oil, and then when you realize you get the oil, something's still wrong with your wick, and that time you are wasting time. And to be honest, I felt like one of them 5 foolish virgins last night, and it really taught me, family, that that we always really need to be prepared. We must always be prepared for especially the coming of Christ, because when he comes, or when he is ready for us and we don't have what it takes. We don't have what we need, because sometimes what we think we need might not be sufficient, because when we get what we need, we realize that we might still be lacking, and it can cause us to lose that praise that he has for us, family. It may cause, don't care how much people are there to encourage us along the way, we need those, but you yourself need to make sure that you're ready. And it taught me a lesson last night, not just even though things might not be right where in your vehicle or with your body, you must always be in a state of ready. You might be sick, something might be wrong with your body physically. You might lose an eye, you might lose a limb, you might have this diabetes, you might have that, but that's not a cause to stop you for being ready. And so I just want to encourage you, my friend who is listening. You know what? You might be lame, you might be halt, but nothing is wrong with your spirit. And when God is coming, he's coming for a spirit that is pure and ready for him. And so we cannot be lacking in that regard. So I want to tell your family, don't be like me last night, because it's not a good feeling to run out of fuel when you have someone waiting for you, and you have someone you're depending on for your livelihood. Amen. So I just want to encourage you with that. You might be laughing at me, but put your comments in the chat so that we can laugh together, because it has been a really learning experience that, I need to get a spare container to keep some fuel with me, or I might have one, but family, forgive me, man. I mean, you see me on the road home, you know what I mean? But I'm grateful that I was still able to get there in time. And that is my prayer, my desire for you, that even wherever you are spiritually today, that you will still be able to make it on time. So don't be like me, a foolish virgin like me last night. So God bless you, and see you next week.